What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, VOD reviewing a game from the America's Tacticians Cup 2. This is the last Tier 2 Cup of the set, and then we're moving in, I think, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks into Regionals, and then Worlds, and then Set 16. I love this this time of the year where it feels like boom, boom, boom. We have the last few events. They come rapid fire, and TFT, it's so rapid fire. We legit, like, if you're getting tired of the set, I mean, Set 16 is right around the corner. We have the, really hype combination of regionals and worlds, which is gonna be really hype this set actually, because there's all these regionals players who are competing to stay in tier 1, and these people can get eliminated out of tier 1 and have another a random person. Could have been me playing for tier 1 if I was better at TFT, but who is going to be playing in regionals, definitely off his performance in this cup, and I think he was actually already probably qualified based on how well he was doing, is 100 Thieves' Kiyoon here, 45 points on the final day, and if you scroll across and see his entire weekend, 115 points across 19 games. That's about a 3 average across the entire weekend against some really solid players, so very, very well played by Mr. Kiyoon here. Pretty good final lobby or final day scores, 5-1, 5-1, 4-1-1, so kind of a hilarious last few like scores. It's an interesting scoreline, but I mean 45 points are really, really great scoreline across 7 games, and yeah, so I wanted to do a VOD review of Kiyoon. He played fantastically across the entire weekend. He was one of the top like 5 yesterday. I feel like every single day he was really, really, really high up there on the ladder of people who played in the tourney, at least. And this game is actually kind of an interesting one because we didn't get, well, we'll see as we get a little bit further in, but it's not as so obvious of a oh, we just played this reroll comp, we got dropped to Kog'Maw and played Kog'Maw. Not so easy. We actually start off here with a Gnar opener, which back in the day you'd be a lot more excited about. Boom, played Gnar into Ashe, yes. But sadly, this Ashe unit, even after the buffs this patch, is still not very much of a unit, so you can't really do that. He can be good in some kind of like fast 9 setups here, so we'll see if we do have the possibility of getting there, or if we have to play kind of standard level 8. We do also get, it is a 5-component opener here, so that means, man, my hand looks so big there, but it's just like kind of an optical illusion. My hands are really not that big, like they're 5-component opener here. To me, this makes me want to slam something like a Gargoyle just onto this Dr. Shmundo here. You do have a Gargoyle Shojin slam here, which can be solid items to go onto like Jinx later. I mean, they can also go into a lot of units later. You can play these into Kog'Maw. You can play these into, I mean, Janna as well. You can actually kind of do this with everything. So I do kind of like that as just kind of a flex slam start here. From augment opener, I would say I kind of hate replication in a 5-item opener because this is going to give you, it's going to bring you from 2 and then after carousel 3 completed items to 4 and then eventually 5 completed items, which I mean is a jump. I think I did my math slightly wrong there, but 3, 4, whatever, 5. The thing is, when you have 5 components, 3 is not that much. If you have 2 components, then 3 is a lot. And so obviously components are going to equal out eventually as we get further into the game, but you're not going to get as much value out of this early as you normally would. Scoreboard Scrapper, I liked this a lot better back when like Mentor Rise was more of like an exciting comp. I really liked playing this into that comp, even felt fine into like Yumi style stuff like that. Now that 4-cost is a little bit weaker, I'm kind of skeptical of playing this into 4-cost. I feel like 4-cost is where this thrives because it hits you in a really good point in the power spike curve where you're spiking at 4-2. If you're spiking much later than 4-2, which is like 3-cost reroll, you're gonna have a tough time of it. And spiking earlier than stage 4 is kind of bad for this as well, because imagine you play 2-cost reroll with this, you lose streak stage 3, but then start winning, or you lose streak stage 2 and then start winning stage 3. Well, you might end up being in the top half kind of early then and not getting the full value out of this. So I don't really love any of these options that much. I don't love Luchador Crest. I do like Last Second Save a decent bit. Too Much Value is a very solid option. We've talked about it before, how this is. I mean, it's just Trade Sector Plus, which is really nice. And if you can get 4 2-costs in, it's solid. You don't have to play 2-cost reroll with this. We also do kind of the thing that we haven't really talked about too much is we have a Jhin and Mundo pair start. We could play Jhin Mundo. Our items don't line up for it very well is the only problem. You don't want to obviously make Shojin onto Jhin. So, it's kind of awkward. You could make something like Crown Guard adaptive, but then these are not really great Mundo items. You want kind of like pure tank on Mundo. The Gargoyle seems pretty good for him. But I mean, I like Too Much Value just as a solid econ option here. And he's actually, he's considering Jin Mundo as his line. He just put Jin Mundo into planner, and that was the whole planner. Interesting. And yeah, we are going to pick it up here, get our extra 2 costs here. We do have to figure out here, like, do we want to, I mean, yeah, like I mean, certainly you're gonna play the Vi here on this. You must have something for Vi. But the question is, do you want to play 4 Tukas here, or do you want to just play 2? I would be partial to just playing 4 here and just playing the Johnny here. But he is actually, yeah, he's gonna play the Gnar here and then power up the Mundo here, and not get the Janna in yet. So this is going to be our spot, and we're gonna stand alone the Dr. Shmundo here. We do pick up a win here, which is nice. All right, so I would say, like, this is actually, like, not a very easy spot to navigate, in my opinion, because of just the variety of options that you do have here. You can play, you know, a Jin Mundo game. You can play, I mean, we picked up a Janna. We can play a Janna game. That guy is definitely trying to play Janna. That was Pizza here, actually. Let's go back and look at that spot, actually, because, I mean, line selection is such an important thing. I mean, this guy, I mean, their items scream Janna, but their augment does not scream Janna. Like, I would not be looking at playing Janna from this spot just because you're gonna waste so much value later in the game with Slammin pushing you from level 6 to level 7 to level 8 in this line. So I would, but I mean, items wise, it does really look like they are playing Janna. They have Bis, like half of almost everything Bis for Janna. So that's actually weird. Keep an eye on Pizza here. This guy, JG Void Staff, also kind of weird because if you're playing Malzahar, you don't really want Void Staff because you're building Noxious Trap anyway. So, he has Malzahar pair. I mean, Keepers makes you think Star Guardian, but obviously with these items, it's not Star Guardian. I mean, Yuumi these days is not looking very great. He could play some kind of other, I don't know, Malzahar reroll without Noxious Trap. Blah. All right, actually, wow, already scouting these guys. I'm kind of confused by what this lobby looks like here. We're gonna make the Gargoyle Slam like we talked about, and then hold off on the other one because Gargoyle can flex into everything. You can put that onto Mundo, you can put that onto Koboko, you can put that onto Poppy, you can put that onto, you know, whoever. The question is, you know, what is our next item? Because if we make a damage item and we commit something like a Shojin, well, then, you know, it makes it a lot harder. Obviously, we're not going to play Shojin onto to Jin, so you can't do that. Also, yeah, Kiyoon has opted to say, our board's pretty strong here with the Naruto and the Dr. Shmundo here. Like, we do have the possibility of win streaking in this spot, so he's actually sacking his ability to, you know, stack up the augment here for the possibility of potentially win streaking. We see another Nasher slammed onto Janna that this guy has, so this guy might also be Janna. So maybe we are not playing Janna, though that guy could also play Nashers into a Kali. There's a lot of options here. This is such an interesting patch here, and yeah, that was him. He sold that Janna on his bench, right? He just said, you know what, I'm not playing around Janna. I'm that is what he, or did he? Did he sell something else here? Was he holding on to Aatrox? No, he bought Garen and then sold Garen. Okay, so we're still holding on to the Janna to keep our options open. I love it. All right, team plannering out Kobuko just to see if we could potentially find him. You know, like a tier would be really great for like a blue buff or something for a Janna. I guess we're gonna have to be forced to just to take frontline item here. Yeah, which I mean, I guess. What are we making here? Crown Guard, I guess. And we're going to, make the Crown Guard here and play. This is our board here. It's a fantastic board. We've talked about this board in the past where, you know, the units just fit together beautifully. I mean, these 5 units give you 5 traits. I mean, that's just insanity. And Kiyoon is confident enough that this will allow us to win streak. We are fighting into a triple item Katarina. Oh, even slams sword onto Gnar here to try to win this fight. At least we have our Lucha in here, but well, actually the Katarina gets stuck on the Mundo. Oh my god, we actually win this fight. The fight was so scary, actually. I cannot believe that we won that. I thought for sure we were gonna lose that. And wait a minute, Jinx in shop here. We can now start, you know, definitely more considering playing a Star Guardian angle. Now, Star Guardian is an interesting, you know, line post nerfs. It's definitely not something, you know, it's not like it's heyday where you could just play Star Guardian every single game and be happy with it. You still want to take, oftentimes, Gather Force. Sorry, my cat just, I don't know what my cat even pressed on my keyboard, the escape key. But, you know, you still want, like, Gather Force and things like that. We also lose this fight, which is really tragic. And you even want best defense onto Poppy. But it's a lot weaker, obviously, because both of those power-ups got nerfed. The Star Guardian bonus got nerfed. So it's a real consideration. Do we actually want to play this here? I mean, Kiyoon waiting to kind of see what his items look like here. We get some tank items. more tank items here. So we're actually kind of drowning in tank items. And then we do get a glove here, which plays well into Jin, plays well into Jinx as well. We can play either one of those lines in this spot here. We do pick up Janna here, and yeah, we are going to fit 3 crystal on this board here. Can just take probably a 6 loss and then cash pretty easily on going into 4-2 and feel great about it. Yeah, I think this is a nice mid-game crystal gambit here, though we are I mean, we're gonna win this fight, but it's fine as long as we have not doubled down yet. It is okay here. So I like this. I mean, if you win enough of these fights, we could go for like a super cash out, like a 9 round crystal gambit here. I mean, if we win these first 3 with 95 HP, it's definitely acceptable. Band of Thieves is a broken augment, so we're gonna pick that one up. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about pausing and analyzing it, and then I saw Band of Thieves, and I was like, you know what? This Band of Thieves augment has been like insta-take for like a few sets at this point. I almost feel like, I mean, you can't really nerf it, right? I mean, the only thing you can do is take it out of the game, because like, what are you going to nerf it? Give you half of Bramble? I guess you could like say in 2 rounds get a Bramble vest or something, but I mean, that's a pretty hefty nerf. That would also, that feels bad. I feel like they'll probably just eventually take it out of the game. We slam our Sunfire and our IE here onto the Jinx with, I think, the idea that we were playing towards Jinx. But I mean, if we do see a trillion Jins, maybe we could still consider Jin. The nice thing as well about this board, by the way, that we pivoted into, count the number of 2 costs that we got going on here. We have 4 2 costs on this board, which means we're getting 2 rolls per round here, which is really nice. The board still fits, decently nice here. And those 2 rolls per round is really good for, helping us cap our board, get strong later. Yeah, actually, so what is a lot of this stuff end up being? So this guy obviously ends up playing Katarina. That's the guy who was early in playing Katarina. This guy's playing some kind of, I mean, I thought Soul Fighter, but he has a Spark Slam. Ugh, I don't know what Nikhil is playing here. This guy, I mean, it does kind of look like he's playing, I mean, it looks like he's playing heavyweights, but he's just going to have the Void Staff and not go Noxious. Or maybe he's just going to go Noxious anyway with Void Staff. It's a little tragic, but, he could live with it. Katarina guy here. This guy also with this kind of AP Slam setup here. I don't know what this is either, actually. With the Bastions, I almost think it's Kog'Maw, but like, I guess it could very well be Kog'Maw for Draenox here. This guy is playing some kind of, I mean, it almost looks like they want to play into like Star Guardian, but they have the Ahri. Kind of looks like Ahri reroll something here to me, but I don't know what. Like Ahri plus what? I mean, you could almost play you could still play, actually we have Janna too. Okay, isn't it just Janna here still, always? So Protect Scroll, maybe Janna, but there was definitely another player who's looking at Janna, and Dino's definitely looking at Janna here, and he's got the Pandora's bench here to look for more Jannas. So it's looking a little sketchy for these Janna players, I will say. Just looking at the lobby, I feel like there might be a couple of Janna players, which, I mean, it's just the way that it goes with how good this comp is. The comp is just, it's just too good, man. All right, we almost get Malzahar here, but this guy at least does not have Noxious Trap here. I keep wanting to call it Noxious Fume, which is a card from Slay the Spire, but only Noxious Trap here, no Noxious Fumes here. Would really love to get a sword here if we are, playing towards Jinx. Aside from that, I think we could take Glove. He's thinking between Glove and, oh, he's really considering the bow here, actually. Yeah, wants to pick a bow here. I wonder why, huh? I mean, solid enough bow items, options onto to Jinx here. Oh, wow, and he cashes here. He doesn't double down at all here. I'm surprised, but he says, you know what? Dino's really weak here, playing into this kind of stuff. I actually can't afford to cash or to double down here. Wow. I mean, I'm really surprised, but I mean, it's very disciplined from Kiyoon to not, go for the double down here. We're 88 HP, and we're just gonna say we're playing this. I mean, here's the thing: we could still play 3 rounds and then double down. Actually, at 4-2, no, I mean, yeah, he fully gets out of it. So, I mean, we're not going to do that. So, yeah, he just takes his teeny cash out, and this is going to be our spot here. Wow, we do hit Gather Force on our first power-up onto Jinx, which is nice. We have 3 Star Guardian in, but that can no longer give Star Sailor, so we didn't have to tailor out of it. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind, is that you only have to tailor if you have 4 or more Star Guardian in. Also, somebody in Kiyoon's chat I just saw asked about how good Jinx's new fruit is, the giant rocket one that was for a little bit bugged on Jinx to exist every time. It's pretty bad. It's quite bad. So I would try to stay away from taking that. I mean, in general, power-ups that say really late into the fight, get a bonus, or augments that say really late into the fight, get a bonus, something like Ascension or Ring the Bell we talked about in our video two videos ago, just tend not to be good. You really want just upfront power in almost all circumstances. I mean, to me, oh, I feel like we have to at least reforge one of these rods, if not both. Probably not both. This extra bow is kind of awkward as well because we've already made Sunfire here, so we can't really make a red buff either. Our items got really awkward really quick, actually. I mean, you could full reforge Deathcap and then also reforge the bow, and most of the time you'd be getting better stuff, but some of the time you just get absolute trash. So we'll see what Kiyoon wants to go for here with these. It's quite awkward here, and the full reforge can definitely hurt you here. Yeah, he's thinking about it with his reforger here, but he wants to see last augment here. I mean, Keepers into Star Guardians feels quite good. I feel like that's just the take. We're okay-ish on items. The big upside from Big Grab Bag is it does give you another Reforger to work with. But we already have triple tank items, and we're pretty close to triple damage. I mean, I would take this under most circumstances, but I love a Keepers in this comp. Pair of Fours is funny, where there's only 2 Star Guardians, but if you want to play stuff like Asante, you can't really take this. So yeah, it's a quick early roll here, and we are going to look at the Keepers here. Find a random Lee Sin here. We're also... you know, pretty poor here, but we remember we have all these free rerolls here. So we pick up Poppy here, pick up another Jinx, pick up Nico too. We're basically out of gold at this point. Pick up Rel here, gonna play Shen as a nice random +1 on this board. Doesn't even have Ahri plannered out, right? Is not interested in all in Ahri. We do pick up Braum, so we can fit that now. Pick up another Jinx, but we don't really need it. And yep, going to slam all of these. We have 5 Star Guardian in, so we do end up getting Corrosive here. And wow, look at that. He actually double full reforges Sunfire and Deathcap here with the idea that we're going to make red buff. Holy, that is a crazy play here. And gets Titan's Spark here, so he can spark the Poppy for now. The board does a little bit of magic damage. Going to do a lot more once we get to Seraphine. And then Titan's, it's on Nico for now. That is wild from Kiyoon to actually go for that full reforge, but he's saying, you know what, red buff is going to be a really good item onto Jinx, and on average the Sunfire is not going to be that great, and so that's the plan. Wow, that is crazy here. Yeah, he's even going to get out of the Xayah here and get the Cassante onto board here. A very solid unit, a good protector, and you know, Xayah's Star Guardian ability, Star Guardian bonus was nerfed this patch, so he says, you know what, I don't even care about the Xayah. We're just going to play this and just play this kind of, you know, lower cap, not lower cap, but lower vertical version of Star Guardian here. We really want to get a sword here off Carousel if possible. It's on a 2 cost, so maybe there's hope. If we can't get that, we could look for maybe another shielding item for Poppy to get that best D later. That is another Jinx, but we don't really care about it that much. And so we are just going to take, yeah, I guess Cloak here is solid enough. It can't actually be a shielding item, but it can be Evan's Shroud here, which would be pretty nice here. Also, kind of hilarious where we've ended up. We have the Kobuko, and that's our only 2 cost after cutting Xayah. So we are getting 0 rolls per round now. So this is the spot where actually this augment is worse than Trade Sector. We're getting literally 0 rolls per round, which is never obviously a possibility with Trade Sector. I will say our board's pretty good, and also it's interesting. He's staying on the Corrosive here just because we may have MR Shred, but we have no Armor Shred on this board. So he's saying, you know what, I like the Gather Force a lot, and I'm not, you know, willing to lose, you know, what I have. Like, I'm not going to move Gather Force ever, and I don't have ability to craft Even Shroud yet, so I'm just going to stick on Corrosive for now. So kind of a cool little power-up setup here from Kiyoon. 61 HP, still feeling pretty good, and we do have, you know, most stuff to start at this point. We also did pick up the Veyrus here, which can go on this board. Fantastic in. So this is kind of a nice, you know, show off of the, I would say, more standard version of Star Guardian these days. The kind of trend over the last few patches is away from vertical Star Guardian and more towards this kind of, you know, less vertical Star Guardian, more, not necessarily flex, because you're usually playing a lot of these units. You're always playing Kobuko, you're always playing Braum if you can hit him, you're always playing K-Sante if you hit him, but you can tech in and out of these units as you hit stuff that you need. Nico's really, really nice here, obviously, to get that extra shielding power onto our board. And, you know, obviously we're going to play Jinx and Poppy, and then Rel fits in for Bastion very easily. We do get our sword here, which is huge here. Looking for, I assume, even Shroud and then move Corrosive here, but we'll see. Could leave Corrosive if we really want to here. He's going to make Declaw here and just go for full tank items and say, I mean, best case scenario, we're really, you know, not getting that much out of best defense here. So we're actually just going to stay on it here. Yeah, interesting call. I mean, I have the last few videos, you know what, this is kind of like foreshadowing. I feel like my last few videos, I've been like, Declaw. I love this item because, I mean, this set, this patch specifically feels so AP heavy. And now finally, after I've harped on it for so long, somebody finally built it. And it's Kiyoon here who won the entire Cup. So, I mean, just goes to show that, yeah, I mean, Kiyoon probably watches the videos and probably used that tech in this game here. He said that actually during the game. Okay, that's just misinformation. The Ari guy did end up actually going for Ari3, just said this is what I have to do, and hit the Manamazane Ari, which is just insane. We'll see if Poppy can tank long enough. No, she can't. Yeah, we're taking some scary losses here on the way to level 9. Level 9 will be a pretty decent spike here if we can hit something like a Seraphine, something like, I mean, he's even holding on to random Zaya, random Volibear to play. Kind of sucks that we had to lose out on Luchador here, but the Varus is too good to play. Wraith is a great bonus, and like, you know, if you can find Varus 2, actually, you end up in a really good spot with this board. So 24 HP here, still holding the line. Janna board here without Janna 3, though. You can never feel too comfortable because he does still have a Koboko 3, and even Janna 2 does a lot of damage. Rise 2 does a lot of damage. We'll see if we can hold the line here. Are we actually going to lose to... Oh, I mean, what a comp, man. We actually lose to Janna 2 here just because she is enough of a monster. LW we can pick up here. That is also onto a Braum. That means we can get off of Corrosive here and maybe find something better. So yeah, now we have basically like a full new power up onto Poppy here that we can find here. I'm still not really sure. I mean, do you want best defense? Ooh, Cassante 2 is huge here as well. Gonna move the red buff over to Varus and put the LW onto Jinx here, and just gonna full level up here for the Zaya. We need to move Corrosive. Let's go. He doesn't tail out Star Guardian here, so we actually do get Star Sailor as an option, but we do get Body Change, which is decent enough here. Very, very solid, actually, onto the Poppy to scale up all this armor and MR here. So pretty good. Rotate into an interesting... This is the Soul Fighter guy, but now our front line is really, really, really tanky. So 12 HP. Hopefully we're stable here. We are also now 2/2 costs on the board, so we're actually getting a free reroll every round, which is pretty fun. So not bad here. Gonna look for something better, find Unstoppable here. I mean, Unstoppable might be, it probably is our best option. So good with keepers, because now we can do this weird positioning where we're fully clumped for keepers, but Poppy's obviously just gonna dash out, so we don't run any of the risk of being fully clumped, but we get all of the benefit from it. So beautiful here for Kiyoon. He still didn't actually tailor out Star Guardian there. I wonder if like a little bit of nerves, because he actually this like last round he ran out of time, but this round he certainly could have done it. But all good, never punished. You know, sometimes you play TFT perfectly and you don't hit anything, and you know, you do your best to find something and you miss it anyway, and sometimes you don't even tailor for it and you hit it anyway, which is just it's you know, it's a metaphor for life, honestly. So, you know, some people are born with trust funds. Me, you know, I had to work for a living, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. There's a Seraphine. We are going to fit that onto the board, and we have the Varus 2 to pick up here, which is fantastic here. Gonna pop this Anvil here very soon, but he wants to do all of his positioning here. Ugh, Nashers, I guess. Yeah, onto Varus. Not amazing with no spell crit, but at least it's kind of an item here. Rotate into the Janna board. Still no Janna 3 from Dino. Okay, surely with all of our upgrades, we can beat this board at this point. The Seraphine does good damage. It's looking a little close for comfort, but we do beat Dino here. That is crazy, by the way, that guy is still 8 Jannas, man. That is horrifying here. The Titans resolve onto the Varus here just to get a third item onto him. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not here? 12 HP here. We gotta just, I mean, win every fight we can. I think we fought Malzahar, which is probably the scariest board here. This guy's only level 8, but I mean, Malzahar spreading his poison, doing a lot of work. We'll see what we can do here. Poppy's pretty tanky. The Jace gets on backline, and oh my god, we lose. And claim a solid 4th here for Kiyoon here. This guy, man, it wasn't actually even the Noxious Poison, by the way. It's Mage Malzahar the whole game. Interesting that Shoma went out with this. Mage Malzahar and then Finalist onto his Darius here. Cool setup. And then, you know, just the Keepers and the... oh, wow, actually another one for double IE. It's a wild spot from Shoma. But, I mean, cool game from Kiyoon, just showing off tempo play, playing Star Guardians. You're not going to be winning every game that you play on Star Guardians, but having it as kind of a... you know, a comp in your pocket that you can use to play to top 4. I mean, very nearly top 3. If we hadn't fought Shoma here, I think we could be playing for top 3 or top 2 here. You know, it's good to be able to play TFT like this when you need to sometimes in a reroll meta. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy on the links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks as always for watching.